everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Brittany and I'm on a mission to hit 5,000 subscribers. So if you can click that button below, I would appreciate it. So we're actually going to be going over a new design that I had someone contact me through Facebook, and we're gonna work it today. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. All right, so yesterday, I guess I should say, somebody posted on our local group that they were looking to have an embroidery shirt done, and a bunch of people tagged me in it, which of course I always appreciate. So basically we have a mother who reached out wanting to do a custom UF Gators sweater. And basically the letters are in flower, like a flower shape. And I actually think it's absolutely beautiful. So we're definitely going to be focusing on gator colors. So we're going to be focusing on orange, blue, and white. So I actually went ahead and already picked up the design from an Etsy shop. I'm going to go ahead and link it down below. Do not make the same mistake that I did, because the first one that I purchased was just lowercase letters. The second one I purchased was lower and uppercase letters. And that's what I should have done. So I ended up spending a little bit more money than I should have. So I'm gonna go ahead, like I said, list it below. If you are going to be jumping into this floral letter thing, just definitely buy the upper and lower case. Save yourself the hassle. So anyways, I went ahead, I got my U, my F, which is what we're going to do the flowers out of. And then the customer did pick the font Gator that she wanted, which is kind of funny because it's almost the identical, if not the same exact font that I use on my gator onesies. So I kind of course had to do a mock-up for them. So this is it right here. So as you guys can tell, it is really beautiful and full of color. Of course, this is not the color we are going to be doing, but I still do like to have the example. And just so you guys know, there is a total of 22 colors that we must install on that machine. Good news is like I said, we're only working between those colors. So yeah, what I'm going to do, since I've already created the design, I'm going to put it on my USB flash drive, and then we're gonna get it all scheduled within the machine. So let's get going. All right, this is a really weird position, but majority of the time my gator colors do typically stay on my machine, but when I did my 4-leaf clover design, I did have to take quite a bit off. So I just have to go and install just my orange, as my blue and my white are already on here. So I figured I would actually show you guys a little close on how exactly I changed thread. I know I have a video of me pulling it through the machine, but I wanted to show you the knot that I do create. It's the one that I find the most effective and has seemed to be working really well. So let's go ahead. I'm actually going to be selecting this green just because this is not a color I use very often. One thing that you're wanting to do, honestly, is when you have your thread, you want to go as low as possible so it gives you that flexibility. And then all that I do is I just wrap this, honestly, and then I tape it off, so when it is up on my pegboard, I don't have like a bunch of loose threads hanging. So I will do that in a minute. But what we're gonna do is let's come a little bit closer so we can get a better image of this. All right, so what we are going to do is we're going to take our thread, put it down. We're going to take our end of our new thread along with the end of our old thread, right? So now we have them both secured in our hand, and all we're actually going to do is just loop them together and pull. So now we have them connected right there. All right, so with this particular image, I do have my printout, and that is because this is just kind of a standard print, so I want to make sure that I end up putting it in my book. And I also do have, oh dear Lord, I also do have my laptop here because I think that it's going to help me, especially with making sure I'm selecting the right colors. Because if you look at this, like, it's just, like, yeah, I get it, but some of these, like, individuals, I just kind of want a clearer vision with the laptop on it. So we've gone ahead, that is just my Florida. Oh, I named it. The one thing that I don't like about, and maybe I'm doing something wrong, but when it comes to me taking a design, putting it on my USB drive, I really wish it was like either the first or the last item. I feel like I constantly have to search looking for it. And I think right now I have up to 9 pages of designs on my USB. So it's like I constantly have to tab to search for it. So that's just one thing that I wish was just kind of organized in that sense, because if I am to go to like my Racoma machine, right, because there's a button right here where it says Racoma, meaning like all my USBs are saved on here, it's always on the very last one that I add. So anyways, that's just my 2 cents. All right, so with this particular image, I am going to make sure that it is within one of my hoop sizes. And actually, let's see here. All right, perfect. So it is within my hoop E, which is my mighty hoop. And this mighty hoop is the 8x9. So my image will be the 8x9, which is your E on your machine. All right, so let's have the fun part on getting this all done. So I think she said blue. Okay, so the first thing we are doing are the little spurts. So I'm only working with 3 colors. And these I'm going to do white. All right, so after taking what felt like a 20-minute intermission, I'm just trying to kind of gather thoughts on the order in which I want the colors to go, the sequence, everything like that. I was also looking at other ideas that I saw with flowers within letters. People obviously sticking to kind of like 2 color combo. But of course, you know, I was reading a bunch of comments within the Etsy shop, I guess, where I purchased it, and a lot of them were saying like you kind of want a little bit of a contrast, because if you don't, it's not going to either 1 look like a letter, or 2 it's just going to kind of look very like just blah. So I'm trying my best here. I went ahead, I'm doing the full gator is going to be blue per the customer's request, and then I went ahead and I honestly only added 1 color, and you can't even see it. So I went ahead and I did that, and then we're gonna do 3, 4, 5 green. So now all that I'm going to do honestly is just kind of go off my little cheat sheet here, and let's go ahead and put this together. I wasn't going to, but my husband's actually correct on this one. I'm going to go ahead and run a sample first, but I'm actually just going to run it on another sweater that I have, just because if it does come out really good, I'll just keep it for myself, or I'll figure out something to do with it. So that is my train of thought at this moment. Okay, so that is So what I'm actually going to be doing with the sweater, this is my heather or ash gray sweater I'm actually going to be working on. I did it on a medium because I might just give this to my niece. And I basically figured I'm going to use my tearaway backing, but I'm going to double it up. So I'm going to do 2 layers of it, so it gives it that stability that I'm looking for in kind of like my cutaway. So let's go ahead. Let's get that measured out. And then for this, there is a center line already in the sweater, so that's kind of what I'm using as my guide. Let's go ahead and stick paper underneath. One thing that I am going to recommend, since this is a very big project, I'm going to go ahead and just change out, actually I don't need to change out my bobbin. I was going to say change out your bobbin just to make sure it's a nice fresh one, because I believe this is actually just over 20,000 stitches. So I might have to change my bobbin mid-work way, but we'll see. Let's go ahead and loop that on here. Looks good. Let's go ahead and do a trace out. Oh, wow. So dead center is correct. Let me do a smaller trace out real quick. I don't like how close that is to my... Alright, I'm not comfortable how big, or not necessarily how big, but how close the image is getting to my hoop, because obviously if it does hit it, it could ruin my entire machine. So I'm going to just go ahead and drop that image by about 10% real quick. Alright, let me see if I'm... Alright, so it's just a hair away from it. Alright. I feel much more comfortable with that. I'm not going to lie. Ow. Alright, and that is centered. It's actually going to be a pretty decent size image. So, it is 8:54 as of right now. We got all of our colors set up. Our bobbin is fresh, so we should have a smooth run through. Unless, of course, a thread snaps. Wish us luck. All right, so we just had, why is it so dark? Okay, so we just had our first stop, which was, oh, okay. Looks like the needle, not the needle, the thread snapped for green. Go ahead and get that corrected. I know, I know. He wants to go on his walk. And we were just about to walk out the house when I heard my machine go off, so good this happened before I walked out, because that would have stunk. All right. Oh my word. Okay, so anytime a thread snaps, you guys, you always want to just go back just a hair. You want to make sure this light is red, and then honestly just press go. Alright guys, so it actually just completed, and I got a, look, there you go. I was basically going to say I had a subscriber reach out to me. Her name is Brandy. She's amazing. Thank you so much, because as you can tell, my little threads are gone. And basically what she did suggest that I do, come in a little closer. We're going to share this helpful tip. This bar that you guys are seeing right here, she actually said that I needed to adjust it down. It was all the way up. So as you guys can tell, look, I went ahead and I angled it down a little bit, and we no longer have tail threads. Yeah, let's call them tail thread tails. But I'm like losing it. But anyway, that alone makes me so excited. But what do you guys think? Does it look good? Did I do a great job? I know that she wanted this as blue. So yeah, it does do like jumping, if you guys can see that right there. That I cannot control. It's just the way in which the machine has it all set up. So there are just a few threads I need to clean, but honestly, that's just from the jumping. But otherwise, I'm gonna go ahead, take a picture, see what she says, see if she wants to make any adjustments, changes to it, and then we're gonna go from there. All right, here is that completed sweater. I've gone ahead and I cleaned everything up. I couldn't show it because for some reason my camera keeps going dark on me. So yeah, I had to mess with some settings, figured that out. But yeah, hopefully you guys did enjoy that. Hopefully you actually learned something new that I just recently learned myself. So make sure you are subscribing and we'll see you guys on the next crafting project. Bye everyone.